Hey, it's Seth here, and I wanted to talk about the different stages that trans people get stuck in and in their transition. First is the overcompensating stage, and this is where I've gone through it. When I was stuck in this stage, I bought a truck, which is this is fine to buy a truck, but I totally couldn't afford it. I'm still in debt over that truck. Um, I got a Ford Focus, and it's yeah, it's high payments. So it's like one thing to get a truck when you can afford it and because you like it, but another thing to get a truck because you want to feel more manly or express your masculine side. And I guess it's a stage that people go through, but sometimes I've seen guys get stuck in this stage and they're like really far along in their transition, like really far, and then they're just so stuck in it. And this one guy, he's all like, "Let me show you all my trucks and my motorcycle and all my manliness." It's like, well, that'd be fine. When you get that feeling of like they're trying to man up because they're trying to prove that that they're a man because they don't feel they haven't made it to that stage of where you can be accustomed to society and not having to prove. Um, hmm. I guess when I think of proving, I kind of think of like your fist is up and you're just like, wow, I'm gonna fight. You're gonna know that I'm a man. I'm a man. Get the pronouns right. Um, I'm masculine. Did you not see the beard? No, I'm not saying that. That's overcompensating, but they're constantly trying to fight to prove that you're a man. Um, of course, there's different spectrums of that, right? Um, and then trans women go through it too. And then there's also the pride stage. It was where everything has to do with being trans. You got your whole door in your car. Everything's plastered with transgender stickers, and everything you do is transgender. And you get mad at anybody who decides to be stealth or everything that comes out of your mouth is transgender. Sometimes I think I'm still a little stuck on this stage. Um, the reason why we get stuck in this stage is because it's just the same with the other feeling that overcompensating is because of insecurities. It's because feeling inferior to the larger cisgender population, not learning the culture, not learning how to adjust into it. It's tricky stuff, and some people get it better than others. Um, and then there's another stage that I've noticed. I'm not sure how to call it. I guess maybe just accustomed to the larger culture. I guess this is where typically it's trans men that get to this stage. I don't say I think have I met any trans women? I don't know, maybe a couple. I'm not sure if they are that are on this stage. But they no longer feel the need to tell people they're trans because they just feel like they're just like any other dude, and so they don't even identify as trans anymore. They just um, I just find this scenario just so interesting. I have this buddy of mine who's like been raised by lesbians, and came out transgender when he was like in high school or something. So he transitioned really early, and he just doesn't tell people he's trans much anymore because he doesn't feel the need, and it's not this, like, this prevalent thing in his life. As for me, like, I'm still like transition is just so much on my mind, right? You know, like 4 years in, for me personally, like, it's still there. But for him, he's like thinking about other things, like it's not transition related, which I find really interesting. And we all go at different stages, and some people get stuck in these stages, and some people adjust and move through it. And I find just I find all this really interesting, just individual processes and transition and how we go through them and such. But yeah, that overcompensating stage is pretty interesting because just because I speak for trans men in particular, just because we used to live as this female doesn't mean that we can't have sexism too. Because I've seen some really sexist trans men, and I'm all like, what the hell is going on? You're being sexist. Stop it. But yeah, the need to prove, basically, I'm a man because of my manly traffic, or just gonna, boss women around. That doesn't make you a man. The more I think about it, I think masculinity is just, it's being able to be, like, present with your emotions, and, like, I don't know, not be ashamed of it. And I see that there's like this toxic form of masculinity where it's like you don't have any emotions, and I don't think a lot of that's just repression. I mean, I do notice that, like, since getting on testosterone, like, I am less emotional, but I'm still emotional. But my conclusion on all this, like, do men feel and all that, is just that a lot of time the man culture today, which is for ever, the man culture is taught to not feel, to be strong. So you got, like, cisgender people that are also overcompensating because that coldness and the really being tough and that's not. I don't think that's true masculinity. I think that's insecurity. Like I said, I think that true masculinity is just being strong in your emotions and knowing them, and being strong in yourself, and not having to prove yourself by being detached from your emotions and your identity. So yeah, and also it's a good thing to think about in your transition is, what kind of dudes are you hanging out with. Is it a dude that's just totally misogynist? I don't care if he's a trans guy. It's not cool. It's not, now that we transition, is like to kind of take reflection on, how we treat women and how we're represented as men, to have, like, good representation of being a man, not overcompensating. Anyways, I may come up with more stages. If I do, I'll let you know. All right, you guys are awesome. Bye.